Hey everybody, welcome to Boss Talks. This is a special edition straight from Apartmentalize Podcast Palooza, and I have a special guest today. I actually put out there a plea for bosses in the industry and asked for people to make nominations of people that were deserving of the boss title, but didn't seek out all the fame and all the attention. Thankfully, Latrice Leake, she made a nomination for Marcella Eppsteiner, and she is by far one of those bosses that doesn't seek out that attention, but definitely deserves recognition. And honestly, I love that. That's how I roll. That's why we do Boss Talks, because we're all about uplifting all the bosses of the industry, not just the people that seek out the attention or get on all the things. Thank you so much, Marcella, for being here.
Yeah, thank you. And just for the record, there's nothing wrong with those bosses who are out there trying to be in front of all the things. I encourage you to keep getting out there. I will be cheering you on from the corner.
Yeah, but you are with Mission Rock Residential,
yeah,
and you are the Chief Experience Officer. And from our brief conversation we've already had, you have been in the industry for how long now?
Over 2 decades.
2 decades.
I started off on site as a leasing consultant.
And with Mission Rock from the beginning.
From the beginning, so almost 13 years. I'm employee number 8.
Yeah.
And we're now over 930.
That's awesome. Yeah.
It is awesome.
Yeah. And from what I hear, you guys have a really good culture, and really you're a person that really helps make sure that's maintained and you really live it out.
Yeah, that's the goal. Our culture was set and originally established by Patricia Hutchison, or Pat Hutchison, who's our CEO, and Meredith Wright, who's our president. They were very clear from the get-go of the formation of Mission Rock that they wanted a culture that was people-centric, truly people-centric, not just saying it, but actually embodying it. And so when I joined, I drank the Kool-Aid, and now I'm dishing out the Kool-Aid and mixing it and adding some remixes. And our culture is indeed people-centric. And in terms of my role in embodying that and really pumping new life into it, it's just ensuring that all of our team members at all aspects of their journey with Mission Rock, that they really live it and they experience our culture and really understand that we are who we say we are, and really that our values are at the forefront.
Yeah, that's fantastic. And just to go off some of the things that were brought up when you were nominated by Latrice, were the fact that you are an uplifting person all the time, that it's experienced when you are interacting with people. You're somebody that is making sure everybody feels like they're seen and valued. And so I think that's really great. And I appreciate that's a value of yours and something that you uphold in your day-to-day work. And the other thing she brought up is that she has felt personally that you helped her overcome things that were personal roadblocks for her own advancement or success, and that you helped her overcome that. And so I think that's really good. So what is it that you would say you're doing on the day to do that across the whole company?
I would say, first of all, the fact that Latrice would even share that and even allow me the opportunity to help her, or for her to even feel like she's seen and uplifted. That's what an honor for me, really. So thank you, Latrice. And I would say, though, to answer your question, on a day-to-day basis, I'll start with, at the end of the day, we're all human beings. And so when you mentioned Latrice's nomination of mentioning that I'm uplifting, that's great and all, but the reality is it is a matter of, like, you're a human being. And so seeing you where you're at, and I think that gets lost in the day-to-day. And it's not some bodhisattva or anything, it's just more of each of us, in no matter what walk of life, no matter what season of life we're all in, we are human beings experiencing our own life. And so to be able to actually witness each other and listen to each other and really hear, like, I show up and there are days that I don't show up with my best, and I can acknowledge that. And I can also have mirrors that I work with and other people in my life who can just, they know me and say, oh, Marcella's having an off day, and that's okay. Let's acknowledge that and move on and come correct the next day. I do really value actually taking a beat and seeing people for who they are and meeting them where they're at, and honestly accepting or expecting that or wanting that for myself. To answer your question, though, most directly, as you asked, how do we do this within the organization? I would say that most recently we enhanced and redefined Mission Rock's customer service expectations. And what does that look like? And when we did this analysis, we kind of compared Mission Rock compared to our competitors and what makes us, Mission Rock, different from the rest of our competitors. And we're all offering apartment homes, regardless of the interior finishes or the community amenities. But what really separates us, it's our people, and how can we make a Mission Rock unique experience? And that is, our customer service expectation is, simply put, it is, here at Mission Rock, we make connections. And so our culture and our expectations is that we are making connections with our customers, we're making connections with each other, making connections with our clients, with our vendors, and really trying to see what's underneath. What's the story underneath that person who's walking in the door looking for an apartment because they're going through something. It's a milestone in their life.
Absolutely.
It's just all about shifting our priorities and expectations. And our culture and our company's expectation is we make connections.
That's great. I have a long history in like community building in apartments, and I see the value in that. And I think it's great that you guys are not only doing that with your people, because if you do that there and model it there, it's going to translate to the communities, and you're going to build that naturally. And obviously you can do events and things like that, but if people don't like the staff and you just do events, it really falls on deaf ears. So it's really great that you guys live and breathe this idea of connection, and it's, I'm sure, really appreciated not only by your staff but also your residents.
Yeah, I hope so. At the end of the day, you mentioned that if the staff doesn't feel connected, or if they don't feel energized to want to do the resident events, to really cultivate a sense of community at their property, it's just going to be a place to rent. It's going to be very transactional. But I really want to emphasize that it is our team members that make the experience, and our team members who really understand that. I hope that they understand how valuable they are to the organization and how we genuinely care about them as individuals.
I hope you just keep it up, because it's a good sauce, a secret sauce that you're doing the Kool-Aid. Hey, Kool-Aid, some Kool-Aid's good.
Yeah, I just envision the Kool-Aid man just charging through the wall. That'll be me next year. I'll charge through this next year's podcast.
I'm glad that we had this opportunity to talk, even though briefly. Maybe we'll be able to have a longer, in-depth conversation in the future, but I really appreciate everybody for listening and for honoring Marcella in this special episode of Boss Talks from Apartmentalize as we kick off. And thanks again for joining me.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for this opportunity. And Latrice, thank you so much for the honor to be nominated. So thanks, Evan.